Well, welcome back, everybody. And before you sharpen your pitchforks and light your torches and get ready to, lay down the law on me, please, this clickbaity title and thumbnail are there for a reason. Welcome back, everybody. So now you are here, I hope you will stay tuned because we have a lot of things to go through in a very short period of time, aka one video. So what do you say? Let's get right into this and let's figure out what's going on with that title and thumbnail and figure out if your boy here, Jed, is selling out or not. Because I can promise you the answer is no and never. That'll never happen. So let's go look at some stuff. AKA, progress. Video coming on that soon, but we got this stuff to look at. So this video is about my 7340 Duster that my good friend Chris Birdsong brought out to me. Well, it's been a while, actually. To be quite frank, I couldn't tell you how long it's been since Chris brought me this car. And this is also the car we picked up that freaking obnoxious hood up at the Indy swap meet a couple years ago. It's all steel. Got it from one of my Facebook buddies, and dadgummit, I forgot your name. Shoot. I'm sorry. I will put it probably somewhere in here. Thank you again for hauling that up to us, because I got it all pictured in my head. I brain fart. Anyways, my 340 Duster here, which is basically a rust-free California car that I had to put floor pans in because, well, it touched cans of soil and instantly the floor pans disappeared because, well, cars don't rot out in California, but as soon as they touch cans of soil, all that accumulated rusting that would have happened had it been anywhere else, like most of my other Mopars here, well, it happened literally as soon as it showed up. So, but this is a car I plan on doing, and this thing's got a narrowed 8 3/4. It's mini tubbed. It's all set up to go fast and be cool, but it's still factory setup with its bench seat and column shift, which is something I dig. But it's a factory 340 car, and with that we wanted to have a 340 for it, so we pulled the 360 that was in there that we got running and sold it to my really good friend Brian at Dust Devil Garage that he's got in his knuckle duster that he calls it his Street Freak. The thing is freaking sweet. I dig his car. It's literally every 10-year-old's dream. It's perfect stance. You need to go check out his channel, Dust Devil Garage. But the deal is we built this 340 here, and this was Tall John came down. Originally, I think Brian was supposed to make it, but, things happen. And we were going to build this all together. And we ended up slamming it together in a couple of days. This 340 with W2 cylinder heads, T&D/Jessel rockers. Never could figure that out, which ones they were. But this is actually a pretty stout little engine if you guys remember the video clips of it running. You'll remember that she is quite rowdy. And the thing that's been holding me back on this engine is, one, we have a slight, well, you can see this thing's become a bench, unfortunately. Like any flat surface in any shop, except the Hemi. It's not a bench right now. But it will be soon, I'm sure. Even that 413's become a bench. But anyways, one of the issues I had was the intake sits a little bit proud of the valve cover, so it keeps the valve covers from perfectly sealing. Well, we have that potentially fixed, and there's another big problem with this engine. So this 340 has a really big but small problem. And one of the things that is an identifier is this block was cast in 1967. Oh, good Lord, there it is. And it was 6 of 67. I can't remember the month. It was like 23 or 27. But anyways, I'm wondering if this engine wasn't always designed to have a 4-speed, because that's the original 340 crank in this that we put back in it with a set of aftermarket rods and some aftermarket pistons. But when you measure the inside register here of this crankshaft, it measures inch 77 thousandths, and on a torque converter hub it's typically inch 88 thousandths or inch 81 thousandths. It varies. And so a normal torque converter will not fit in this hole, and we did verify that an earlier one, because in the earlier, if you have a 273 crank, this pilot's even smaller. And we've already verified that that is not the case. This crank is just, it's not machined out big enough for an automatic transmission converter. So then you would think, well, and also had the pilot bushing already installed. So you think just slam a 4-speed in it. Well, unfortunately, I'm one of the guys who doesn't want to put a 4-speed in my Duster. I want it to be an automatic because I'm weird. I don't know. I'm sorry. So getting a converter for this thing's been kind of on the back burner. Well, here's where the video gets interesting. Join me for story time. So I'm sitting here one night just messing around on my email, and I get the email from Holley that they're having their spring cleanout sale, and I'm like, oh, well, the last time they had a winter cleanout sale, I went and dumped a whole bunch of money on supercharger stuff I'll never need again. So I was like, let's just go see what else they got that I may not need. And lo and behold, they had the exact torque converter I was looking at, or more or less the stall speeds we have been talking about for my 340, which was going to be in the 28 to 3200 range potentially. I had called PTC Converters and I talked to them, but the price was just going to be a little, oh my, I just noticed something in the background. By the way, if you're wondering about the car I'm sitting on, don't worry about it. That'll be in the future. But anyways, I called PTC to get a quote on a custom converter for the 340 for the Duster, and the price was, well, $800 some odd, and I'm sorry, that's just a lot of money for a guy who doesn't plan on really drag racing that car very much. That's gonna basically be just a supersized overgrown toy with way too much engine, and which, if you don't know me, my 70 Charger way over there with a broken 18 spline is a darn good example of that. Way too much engine and too little of a street car with a guy who really doesn't know what he's doing. But anyway, so it was just a little too much money. So lo and behold, this Holley sale popped up, and they had this Hayes converter for $550 or something on sale. Blowout, cleaning them out, getting rid of them. And I was super excited, and I had just enough money after buying those Vision wheels and stuff for the Polara that Dad and I both agreed, let's get this converter. So we snagged it. And in a friend, we were just super excited. I immediately talked to my guys at Jake's. Rob, thank you so much. And also my buddy Rodney Bird for staying up with me that night, because we found the Cometic intake gaskets also to potentially fix the 340 that's got the proud, you know, intake we were talking about just a minute ago. And oh, everything just started to come together in a flash. Like, it was amazing. Literally in one night, it felt like this whole thing that was potentially not going to happen, the Duster, it got done basically in my head. And I was super excited. And then we got a phone call. And by a phone call, I mean an email that said back order on my converter. And I was like, darn it, that is just Scott luck right there. So, long story short, I ended up calling Holley and getting probably one of the most amazing customer service guys there, named Ryan. Thank you so much, Ryan. You are the freaking man. And him and I, we got along super freaking great. Guy is just awesome. I can't say enough. And through talking with me and finding out we actually have this little YouTube show, thanks to you guys out there. This is also shout out to you. Without you guys, this channel, we wouldn't have this opportunity. So Ryan gets a hold of people at Holley, and basically we get added into their influencer deal, which surprisingly is not as evil as I thought it was going to sound. Because everybody's got this idea, and I'm guilty of it too, that Holley's a big evil company. Well, take that for what you will, because they're the big company, you know, they're the big one. And But actually, they were really easy to work with. I'm really surprised. I am very happy. And we ended up actually getting into this program more or less. And so we ended up getting a price on a B&M Holeshot 3000 converter. And I'm having to add this in a post after it rained, because I forgot to actually tell you guys the biggest and most incredible part of this story, that even though technically we are now in the Holley influencer deal, which really means nothing because there's no strings attached to it. I'm actually really surprised and really happy with that. It's just, you know, they want us to, you know, help promote the products, and they want to work on their PR. They want to let everybody know they are trying to improve the quality of the products, because we all know that things haven't gone the best here recently, and Holley wants to let everybody know they're trying to do their best to upgrade the quality and get things back up to what we all expect, because they have, you know, standards of their own. And well, they don't like seeing their customers unhappy, and they especially don't like customers calling in and complaining. So, you know, they want to make sure everybody gets the right stuff. So even though we are in this program now, technically my discount we got didn't quite cut the mustard. I'll be honest, it didn't. It was like, well, I plan to pay this much for the converter, but it's the fact that old Ryan and everybody at Holley, they were like, we understand and we get it, and we want to help see your project get done. And that's what really sold me 100%, and saying, yes, I want to help Holley and I want to work with Holley. Now, I also told them that don't be expecting to see any fuel injection setups anytime soon on my stuff, but we may do one in the future for a buddy or something, you know. But it's one of those things that it was really cool, you know, actually getting to talk to cool car guys there and get to see that they do understand that they're people too. They get it. They're car guys still. You know, Holley is not just some big evil company. They're a bunch of car guys trying to do stuff, and unfortunately we're all victims of the same thing. You know, quality control, we all tried to, you know, it's stuff that happens. You know, you want to try something, maybe it might save you $1 or $2. Well, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and that's life. And we have to pick ourselves up, and we got to basically keep on trucking. And that's what really impressed me about this whole Holley deal. All right, back to story time, when the Duster's not covered up because of rain. It's you guys, thank you for allowing us to have this kind of influence in a channel, so thank you. And of course, Dad for watching the videos. Mostly make these for him. But thank you to also Holley, because they didn't have to be kind. They could have easily told me, well, you bought the converter too, there's only one in stock, and the guy ahead of you got it before you. Go pound sand, get it somewhere else, because that's technically the laws of nature. That's how it works. Someone gets to the deal before you, they get it. And I guess I'm technically fine with accepting that, because that just means it wasn't meant to be. But to the good graces of the Lord above, everything worked out, and we have a torque converter, because Holley was able to get us this guy at a really good price. They bent over backwards and helped us out. They did not have to do that. And thank you to Ryan and Alan there. You guys, more than fantastic people. Now, I will say I'm a little bit worried about my box here, because it does have a peephole. But that's okay, because I opened it up and I checked the peephole, and looks like we got a little bit of the plastic cap there on the converter, but not too bad. What do you say? Enough rambling, enough storytelling. Let's see what this thing looks like. And voila! And by the way, I already had the flap open because I needed to verify it came with bolts and a freaking seal. Thank you very much. And that is a pretty converter. And it looks like we got all of our paperwork in here. Let's see, B&M, do you still send stickers? They're better. If there's not a sticker in here, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Shoot! Oh, well, I had the thought cross my mind to actually go find one of my old B&M stickers to throw in there, but I did not get a sticker. But you know what? I would rather have the torque converter bolts and the front pump seal than the sticker. But everything looks good on here. I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't find any burrs on this cup or anything. Oh yeah, everything's in there real nice. Ooh. That is freaking cool looking. I've never noticed B&M's converters kind of got a metal flake to it almost. I know it looks like there's a bunch of trash there, but that's impressive. That's a pretty converter. Thank you so much to B&M and guys at Holley. And of course, you guys, for sure. I mean, seriously, I cannot thank you guys enough, because without, like I said already 100 times before, without the viewers, I'm just another guy with a camera. And oh, I guess we need to address one more elephant in the room, and that was the crankshaft issue. So let's go address that. I've already talked about how the measurements or what they were. Well, on a normal Chrysler converter, they are the inch 88 thousandths. This B&M is actually machined to inch 81. And this thing might actually fit right on there. So what do you say? Let's go test it. Okay, here's to me wishing I had an extra helping hand right now, but we have a tripod. All right, let's see if we're gonna get lucky. If not, we have a solution for this problem. Nope, well, not clear. Okay, the solution for this is either get this running engine with a flywheel and then take a piece of emery cloth or something in here and just sand it, which is dangerous. The other option is to remove material right here, which if my lathe was bigger, that would be awesome, but it's not. So we had to be real careful about moving material right here. And the other option is literally sit here with like a Dremel and a sanding drum and just slowly take this out, which we're only talking a couple thousandths on either side really. So it's really not a whole heck of a lot. It's just enough that this will not seat inside of that register like it's supposed to. It needs to be in there, according to John Cope, my good friend Rodney Bird. That is supposed to just barely move in and out of that, because that is called a flex plate, because it flexes and allows the converter to go in and out back of the crankshaft. So we don't want this to be a press fit. We also don't want it to be loose. So that's going to be a future project because, well, I got to move. There are way too many projects going on all at once, and I got to wait on those intake gaskets to get here for that anyway. So that's going to be a future video. But I really just wanted to get this out there because I wanted to thank everybody, and I wanted to show everybody that I'm serious about getting that Duster put together. Yeah, let me tell you, there's a lot of projects going on and trying to help other buddies with their projects and managing. Well, we also got Anna Zerline and all the video series going on, so a lot of stuff going on. Oh, and trying to sell t-shirts too, because money is one of those things where it's pretty good to have, especially when you're a car guy trying to do YouTube stuff. Whoo-wee, let me tell you, stuff gets expensive. But I'm really happy with that. That's going to be sweet. I think that I got a good feeling about this converter being the right deal. We've already got the TTI W2 headers, which we've been talking about maybe Cerakoting those here. So I need to look into that. Maybe if someone watches it, maybe if one of those coating companies sees this, or someone's got a coating company they recommend that can do those in kind of a, you know, in a month or so, I would love to get those done. Otherwise, I'll just paint them white like I've always done. Just be kind of a shame, but they have been laying around for a couple of years. All this, I do believe that when all the dust is settled, that the good Lord is going to bless us, because just like the night the 340 went together and we had the help from Tall John, Dad, Anna, myself was there, Ryan Barstus and his dad showed up, Daniel Barber and his son Hudson showed up to help. Everybody lended a hand and we all came together and we got that engine together. And it ran. And it ran with that torque converter that we did basically grind down, more or less. We ground down the hub on it until it cleared, and we got that measured down to about inch 76 thousandths. And like I told you, it's inch 77. Why don't we just break out the calipers and do some measuring? Which I do so happen to believe I have right here. So just to show you, inside the crank here, seated in there, is right at inch 76 thousandths. We measure this guy. Now this is just rough cut here, so bear with me. It's basically the exact same. And then we come to this guy, and you'll see does not fit over, but if you loosen it up just a little bit, it goes basically to whatever Holley says on their website. Well, it's right at inch 80 technically. So if we get down here a little bit further, it's inch 81. Exactly what the website says for measurements. So we know their measurements are dead on. So I don't think it's going to take too much to make this guy fit that. We'll just do a much cleaner job than we did on that one. So that'll get the converter right on the back of the 340. And of course, we're going to change out that flex plate. We'll be putting a good SFI certified flex plate on that, which is on the way from Jegs. I should have had Holley send me one of those, but you know, it didn't cross my mind. I thought I had one already, but I didn't. Just like I'm very thankful they sent me bolts. So they probably didn't have the right ones for that. But it's stuff like this, everything coming together, it makes me start to think that I may even start thinking about painting the Duster here soon, because, well, if it goes together like this smoothly, then why not think about painting it, just like doing the headers there, getting them Cerakoted or painting them or Cerakoting them here, doing all that stuff. I want to try and do as much of it as possible here, and we're just planning and prepping for this whole deal, and I want to get you guys excited for that, because I'm excited for it now, because, well, we get to see this whole thing come together. And this is actually a project, like I said, it's been a love-and-hate relationship, because I want to love the Duster, but it's apart right now. And, well, it's hard to fall in love with a car when it's, well, you know what I mean, right? You've watched this show, you know what it's like. You know, you build your dream car, and you start off with a bunch of crap, and then at the end of the day, you still wind up with shiny crap. But hopefully that one is shiny crap that makes good vroom vroom sounds a lot sooner than the rest of the stuff, and plus, we like to get it done. So if you guys are looking forward to seeing the Duster get done, please let me know in the comments, because as soon as these parts show up, which should be in a couple weeks, our Comedic intake gaskets. We also got gaskets coming from Greg at Superformance in case our Comedics aren't the right intake gaskets. So if you guys are looking forward to seeing that, let us know, and we are going to be well on our way trying to get that car together while we're working on, well, every other project car you see here, because there's no shortage of Mopars needing love. So look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. As always, take care, and bye-bye. And one more big thank you to all the viewers out there. Big thank you to Ryan and Alan at Holley. You guys, without you, this wouldn't have been possible. So, catch you in the next one. As always, guys, take care, and bye-bye.